Thanks, Dina. All right, our next guest has become well known for his ability to connect people with their past loved ones and help them through some complicated emotions with it.
So soon he's coming to our area. So let's chat with him first. Let's welcome Tyler Henry to Good Day via Zoom. Good morning to you, Tyler.
Good morning, Tyler.
Good morning, Courtney and John. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thanks for joining us.
Okay, so first of all, how are you doing? You recently had brain surgery, I heard.
You know, they were able to fully remove the cyst. They kept the brain, so I can't complain. And I'm talking in riddles for some reason since.
Well, it sounds like it was successful. That's
it adds
great.
to your charm.
Glad to hear it.
Yes, glad to hear that you're okay. Okay, so let's talk about the fact you are coming to Modesto for a part of your tour in about a week or so. You have a large number of fans in this area, so I hope you're prepared for that. One of whom is in our studio right now. Before we get to your show, would you mind chatting with Sade? She's one of our traffic anchors in studio.
Oh my gosh, I was literally freaking out when I heard that. I was like, Tyler? The one that goes to people's houses?
Yes.
I was freaking out. You're the sweetest, most kind, like I've watched all of your readings. You're fabulous. I just want to say that. Okay, I'm done geeking out and fangirling. Okay.
It's wonderful to meet you. I hope to potentially see you at the show, and if not, there will be future shows.
So Tyler, I'm just curious, what do you need? Because I know that with the shows, you need people to be in person, right? So that you can interact with them and kind of help them with whatever they're dealing with. What do you need? Like, for example, if you were to do a quick reading for Sade, what do you need from her?
Oh.
Well, typically when I do a reading, I go through a process in which I scribble. And as I scribble, it's just kind of a way of getting into an altered state of consciousness. So I'm not, drawing pictures necessarily as much as it's just a process of getting in rapport with what I believe is more unconscious means of thinking. And that kind of allows me, I find, to identify certain images that pop up from the subconscious, more akin to dreams really than anything else. And often those images and messages that they symbolize will have relevance in the person's life.
I would imagine over the years you have come up against a number of people who are skeptical about this. How can you explain the process that maybe could make sense to people who are skeptical?
Well, I understand skepticism, and I think it's important to never lose our critical thinking skills. I really liken what I do to that of a creative process. Mm-hmm. So I think of when we talk about objectivity versus subjectivity, while there are objectively compelling pieces of information that come through, it really does work through the subjective, picking up on feelings and memories and kind of the essence of what a person was, how they want to be remembered, and very often how they're honored in some capacity by those who are left behind. So it's an immersive process. I always say that the sixth sense kind of uses the other five senses to communicate. Mm-hmm. So my job is really that of an interpreter, in that I'm taking all of these little sensations that I'm experiencing and having to understand their meaning and convey it in a way that does it justice.
You've got the show on Netflix, Live from the Other Side. I would imagine that you come in contact with so many people, right? But you have these very personalized connections with these folks. Do you ever take anything away from those experiences, and do they stay with you?
Oh, absolutely. I really find that every reading I do, for me, beyond providing a sense of validation that there's more to this mystery of life, really conveys this idea that, we are to live in such a way so as to prevent future regret. And that is such a resonating message that comes through over and over again, to live in such a way so as to validate people while they're still here, to, call your mother.
Yeah.
tell the people in your life you love them, and really, make use of the time that you have.
So we've seen some clips of you on stage. What's the live show like? What can people expect from that?
Sure. Well, the live show is a three-part show. So the first part, I share a little bit about me and what brings me, to the stage, some of the early formative experiences that also help lend insight into my process, because it is such a unique calling. And then from there, I explain how logistically it works. And then I focus on the audience, and whether you're seated in the front row or the very back, it's equal opportunity. So anybody can get read. I do a number of readings over the course of an evening, and there's no safety net. There's no editing. There's just something very raw about it that I think is important to demonstrate, not just showing the highlights, but also showing the process and how intuition works for me. Because a lot of people, once they see it, find that it's not so much an ephemeral thing, that it's something, if we look back in our own lives, very often people have had moments of intuition, and it kind of makes more sense.
Yeah. Well, Sade might be in that audience on Sunday at the Gallo Center for the Arts in Modesto. The show starts at 5 o'clock. Tyler, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Yay, Tyler.
Thank you. I appreciate you all so much, and I'll hope to see you there.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you.
Sade's over the moon. I love the look in your eyes. So you're like, wait,
he's like, what? he's the sweetest guy. Like, you could just
a
tell.
good human.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thanks.
I've never
Thanks,
seen
Sade.
you this excited for any game.
I know.
Cool.
That's why I was like, oh, we got to let her talk.
That was just so
Tyler.
cool. I just was like, whoa, like him. He's there. I don't know.
Yeah.
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 And he'll be there in Modesto.
I know.
Gallo Center.